Good day, everyone. In today's session, we will examine data security fundamentals, a subject that forms the structural backbone of modern digital systems, organizational trust, regulatory compliance, and risk management. Do you know that data has become one of the most valuable organizational assets? It enables operational continuity, strategic planning, automation, artificial intelligence, and digital transformation. At the same time, the scale, speed, and complexity of data usage have introduced significant security challenges. Data now exists across distributed environments, on-premises systems, cloud platforms, mobile devices, and interconnected third-party ecosystems. This reality means that traditional perimeter-based security is no longer sufficient. Protecting data requires a deeper understanding of what data is, how it flows, who uses it, and how it can be compromised. The objective of this lecture is to establish a foundational academic understanding of data security. We will move from conceptual definitions to practical structures, ensuring a logical and progressive flow throughout the session. We will begin by defining data security and clarifying its scope. We will then explore core security principles, followed by an examination of threats, security controls, governance mechanisms, lifecycle-based protection, and operational best practices. Each section will build directly upon the previous one. This structured approach ensures not only conceptual clarity, but also applicability to real-world academic and professional contexts. Defining data and data security. Before we discuss protection mechanisms, we must clearly define what we are protecting. What is data? Data refers to any recorded representation of information that can be processed, stored, transmitted, or analyzed. This includes, but is not limited to, personal and sensitive data, business and operational records, system and application logs, analytical and statistical data sets, intellectual property and proprietary information. Data can be structured, semi-structured, or unstructured, and its value often depends on context, accuracy, and availability. What is data security? Data security is the discipline concerned with protecting data from unauthorized access, disclosure, modification, destruction, or disruption, regardless of where the data resides. Unlike infrastructure security, which focuses on protecting systems, data security focuses on the data itself. This distinction is critical in modern environments where data continuously moves between systems, users, and organizations. Data security must therefore be persistent, adaptive, and context-aware. Relationship to other security domains. It is important to differentiate data security from closely related domains. Cybersecurity focuses on protecting networks, systems, and endpoints. Information security encompasses all forms of information, digital and non-digital. Data security focuses specifically on protecting data across its life cycle. This focus on data allows security controls to remain effective even as technologies and platforms evolve. Having established what data security is, we now move to the principles that guide all data protection strategies. Core principles of data security. Every data security framework is built upon a small set of foundational principles. These principles guide decision-making, control design, and risk assessment. Confidentiality. Confidentiality ensures that data is accessible only to authorized individuals, systems, or processes. This principle addresses access permissions, authentication requirements, data exposure risks, confidentiality breaches, can result in privacy violations, regulatory penalties, reputational damage, and legal consequences. Controls that support confidentiality include access controls, encryption, identity verification, and data masking. Integrity. Integrity ensures that data remains accurate, complete, and trustworthy throughout its life cycle.
Integrity failures can occur through
Unauthorized modification, accidental data corruption, system or application errors. Loss of integrity undermines decision making and can compromise safety critical and compliance driven environments. Integrity is protected through validation mechanisms, checksums, version control, and controlled change processes. Availability. Availability ensures that data is accessible to authorized users when needed. Threats to availability include system failures, denial of service attacks, poor backup or recovery strategies. Availability is especially critical in operational systems, healthcare, aviation, finance, and emergency services. Balancing availability with confidentiality and integrity is a core challenge of data security. With these principles established, we can now analyze what threatens them in real-world environments. The data security threat landscape. Threats to data security originate from multiple sources and vary in intent, complexity, and impact. Intentional threats. Intentional threats involve deliberate actions aimed at compromising data. These include external cyber attacks, insider misuse, data exfiltration, ransomware, and extortion. Such threats often exploit weak authentication, excessive privileges, and poor in monitoring. Unintentional threats. Many data incidents result from human error rather than malicious intent. Examples include misconfigured storage systems, accidental data sharing, incorrect access assignments, improper system maintenance. These threats highlight the importance of process discipline and training. Technical and environmental threats. Data can also be compromised by non-human factors, hardware failures, software defects, power outages, natural disasters. These threats emphasize the need for resilience, redundancy, and recovery planning. Understanding threats allows us to design appropriate defenses, which leads us to the concept of security controls. Data security controls, structure, and purpose. Security controls are mechanisms designed to reduce risk by enforcing security principles. Controls are typically categorized into three groups. Administrative controls. Administrative controls define organizational expectations and governance structures. They include security policies, data handling procedures, risk management frameworks, training and awareness programs. Administrative controls establish consistency and accountability. Technical controls. Technical controls are implemented through systems and technologies. Examples include
identity and access management,
encryption mechanisms, logging and monitoring tools, backup and recovery systems. These controls directly enforce confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Physical controls. Physical controls protect the environments where data is stored or processed. They include
secure facilities,
controlled access points, environmental safeguards. Physical security remains essential even in cloud-based environments. Controls must be applied proportionately based on risk, which requires structured oversight and governance. Data security governance and organizational accountability. Governance ensures that data security is systematic, enforceable, and sustainable. Governance objectives. Effective governance aims to align security with organizational goals, ensure regulatory compliance, define accountability, enable consistent decision making, roles and responsibilities. Clear ownership is critical. Typical roles include data owners, data custodians, security and compliance officers, risk management teams. Ambiguity in roles often leads to control gaps. Policies, standards, and frameworks. Governance relies on documented guidance that translates principles into practice. These documents define acceptable use, access requirements, data handling rules, incident response processes. Governance frameworks ensure continuity as organizations evolve. Once governance is in place, attention must shift to how data is protected throughout its life cycle. Data security across the data life cycle. Data security must be applied consistently from creation to disposal, data creation and collection. Security begins at the point of data creation. Key considerations include purpose limitation, data minimization, secure input mechanisms, data storage. Stored data must be protected against unauthorized access and loss. Controls include encryption at rest, secure storage configurations, access control enforcement, data processing and use. During processing, data is most exposed. Controls include segregation of duties, secure execution environments, monitoring of data usage, data transmission and sharing. Data in transit must be protected against interception. Encryption and secure communication protocols are essential. Data archival and disposal. Data that is no longer required must be securely archived or destroyed. Improper disposal remains a common source of data leakage. Lifecycle-based security ensures comprehensive protection rather than isolated controls. Operational best practices in data security. Effective data security relies on disciplined operational practices, data classification, and labeling. Classifying data based on sensitivity enables appropriate control selection. Principle of least privilege. Access should be limited to what is strictly necessary. Encryption by default. Encryption should be treated as a baseline requirement, not an exception. Monitoring and detection. Continuous visibility enables early detection of anomalies and incidents. Testing, review, and improvement. Security controls must evolve with changing threats and technologies. These practices reinforce governance and ensure that security remains effective over time. Conclusion. To conclude, this session has presented a structured, point-by-point overview of the fundamental concepts of data security. The aim was to establish a common foundation and conceptual clarity. In the upcoming lectures, each of these areas will be examined in depth with detailed explanations, practical illustrations, and comprehensive examples to reinforce understanding and real-world application. We began by defining data security and its scope, explored core principles, analyzed threats, examined security controls, discussed governance and lifecycle-based protection, and concluded with operational best practices. The key takeaway is that data security is a continuous, structured discipline. It requires alignment between people, processes, and technology, guided by principles and enforced through governance. As we proceed to more advanced lectures, we will expand on this foundation by examining risk assessment, privacy engineering, regulatory compliance, sector-specific challenges, and advanced security architectures. I encourage you to treat these fundamentals not as abstract concepts, but as essential building blocks for all advanced work in data protection and information security. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to continuing this academic exploration in our upcoming sessions.